There is a moment, sometime in early spring, when you walk out into your garden and everything looks exactly as it should. The grass is green, the air is still, the light is soft and low and golden across the lawn. And then you see them. Weeds. The same ones you pulled out last month, the same ones you sprayed the month before that. Back again, as if nothing ever happened, as if all that effort meant nothing at all. Here is something most gardeners never get told. The weeds are not the problem. They are the symptom. And until you understand what is actually causing them, you will spend every spring and summer fighting the same battle and losing. Old gardeners understood this, not because they had better products or more time, but because they watched more carefully. They read the soil, they read the plants, and they worked with what nature was already doing, rather than against it. In this video, I want to show you what they knew, why weeds keep coming back, what pulling and spraying is actually doing beneath the surface, and the old-fashioned methods that stopped weeds long before anyone invented a chemical to kill them. Let us start with the most common mistake of all. When you see a weed, the instinct is immediate. You reach down, you grab it, and you pull. It feels satisfying. It feels like progress. But here is what is actually happening beneath your feet. A dandelion taproot can reach 30 centimeters or more into the soil. When you pull the leaves and the stem away, that root stays exactly where it is, sitting quietly in the dark, completely intact. Within days, sometimes hours depending on the conditions, a brand new plant pushes straight back up from it. You are not removing the weed, you are pruning it, you are making it stronger. Old gardeners knew this. That is why they never pulled weeds with their bare hands. They used long-handled tools with narrow blades, tools designed to go down into the soil alongside the root and lever the entire thing out cleanly from the base. The whole root, every time. That is removal. Everything else is just temporary tidying. But here is something even older gardeners understood that we have almost completely forgotten. Weeds are not random. They do not appear in healthy, thriving soil by accident. They appear where the soil is inviting them in. A dandelion, for example, has that extraordinary taproot for a reason. It is a pioneer plant. It breaks up compacted, hard ground and pulls minerals up from deep in the soil back to the surface. When you see a lawn full of dandelions, what you are actually seeing is a lawn with compacted, nutrient-poor soil sending out a distress signal. The dandelions are not the disease. They are the diagnosis. Old gardeners read weeds the way a doctor reads symptoms. Clover appearing across a lawn meant the soil was low in nitrogen. Moss creeping in along the edges meant poor drainage, shade, or acidic soil. Plantain growing in heavy patches meant the ground was being walked on too hard and packed down too tight. They did not just kill what they saw. They asked what the soil was trying to tell them, and then they fixed the cause instead of endlessly treating the result. So what did they actually do? The first thing they did was feed the soil properly. Not the grass, the soil. There is a difference, and it matters enormously. When you feed only the grass with fast-acting fertilizers, you get a quick flush of green growth that looks healthy on the surface but leaves the soil below no better than before. Old gardeners used compost. Worked into the top layer of soil each year, compost improves the structure, feeds the bacteria, improves drainage, and slowly over time builds a soil that is genuinely hostile to weeds and genuinely welcoming to grass. Healthy soil grows thick, deep-rooted grass. Thick, deep-rooted grass is the single most powerful weed suppressant that exists. When your lawn is dense and strong, weed seeds that land on the surface simply cannot get the light and space they need to establish. The grass does the work for you. That is not a modern insight. That is something every old gardener already knew. The second thing they did was stop cutting the grass too short. This is one of the most damaging things a modern gardener can do without realizing it. When grass is cut very low, it becomes thin and sparse. Sunlight reaches the soil between the blades, and weed seeds, which need exactly that light and warmth to germinate, find everything they need waiting for them. Old gardeners kept their grass longer, not wild or untidy, but longer. 3 to 4 inches was the natural standard for a reason. At that height, the grass blades shade the soil surface completely, the roots grow deeper and stronger, and the lawn becomes dense enough that weeds struggle to find any foothold at all. Raise your mowing height, and you change the entire dynamic of the lawn beneath you. The third thing old gardeners did was work with the edges. The borders and edges of a garden are where weeds always begin. They creep in from the outside, establish themselves along the margins, and then slowly move inward. Old gardeners were meticulous about edges. They cut them cleanly, removed any weeds at the very first sign, and kept that boundary sharp and maintained. A clean edge is not just an aesthetic choice, it is a line of defense. And when weeds did appear on hard surfaces, on paths, between flags, along walls, old gardeners had simple answers that required nothing from a shop at all. Boiling water. Poured directly and carefully onto weeds between paving slabs, boiling water destroys the plant cells on contact all the way down to the root. Within a day, the weed is gone. No chemicals, no residue, no cost. It is perhaps the oldest weed treatment in existence, and it still works perfectly today. Salt and vinegar mixed with a drop of washing-up liquid applied on a dry, warm day draws the moisture from the plant and breaks down its surface. It is effective, it is simple, and it costs almost nothing. But it must only ever be used between hard surfaces, never near soil or grass, because it changes the acidity of the ground where it lands. And for paths and paving, old gardeners finish the job by sealing the joints. Packed tightly with sand, those narrow gaps between slabs left no loose, open material for seeds to land in and take hold. Prevention rather than treatment. One afternoon of work that saves a season of weeding. Here is the honest truth. Modern weed control is largely designed to be repeated. You spray, it works for a while, the weeds return, you spray again. Old gardeners were not interested in that cycle. They built conditions in which weeds struggled to appear at all. They fed the soil. They kept the grass thick and tall. They worked the edges. They prevented rather than reacted. That knowledge did not disappear because it stopped working. It disappeared because it requires patience. It takes a season or two to build healthy soil. It takes consistency to maintain thick grass. It takes attention to catch weeds at the margins before they spread. But once you get there, once your lawn is genuinely healthy, you will notice something remarkable. The weeds begin to thin. Not because you killed them, because there is no longer any space for them to live. That is what old gardeners understood that we have mostly forgotten. The garden does not need to be fought. It needs to be listened to. If your lawn has bare patches right now from old weed removal, from heavy use over winter, from anything at all, let me know in the comments below because that is exactly what the next video is about. How to repair bare patches and get thick green grass growing back quickly using simple, proper methods. Subscribe so you do not miss it. I will see you in the next one.